first day of Elul is significant in Rabbinic Judaism as it marks the beginning of Yamim Noraim, or the days of awe. This is a period of time when Jews begin to reflect upon their actions and spiritual improvement over the last year in preparation for the high holy days, and specifically for Yom Kippur. I so encourage all of you to spend this next month reflecting the same upon why these feasts are important to you as followers of Yeshua, what they represent to us as a body of believers in Yeshua, what promises are held in them, and why it is important to celebrate them. To help in this process of reflection, I want to ask you today that each would consider following the Jewish tradition of reading Psalm 27 each evening, starting this Tuesday night, the Rosh Chodesh of Elul, and going through the 40 days of awe, and continuing until Hoshana Rabbah, the 7th day of Sukkot. And to get us in the spirit of reading this passage each evening, let us hear it today. Psalm 27 reads, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me, he shall set me upon a rock. And now shall my head be lifted up above mine enemies around about me. Therefore, while I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy, I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy upon me and answer me. When thou sayest, seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Lord, will I seek. Hide not thy face far from me. Put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O God of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me in the plain path because of mine enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies. For false witness are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I have fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. It's my hope that by the individuals of Rosh Pinah choosing to read this passage every evening for the next 7+ weeks, it will help us to strengthen the bonds of our community as we prepare not just individually, but corporately for these fall feasts. And today's message, which draws upon the verses from this week's Parashah, is focused on this very idea of being a community of believers, a corporate body of Yeshua, or as we simply say here at Rosh Pinah, Mishpachah. We are family. And it does this by showing the importance God placed on Israel remaining a single community as expressed in his commandments to worship him in the one place of his choosing, in the purpose of tithing, in the practices of the sabbatical year, and in the 3 festivals in which all the men of Israel were commanded to appear before God. The Parashah starts this week with the command Ra'ah, which is to see or behold. God draws the attention of Israel to the blessing and the curse that he sets before them, and how their obedience to his commandments would determine which would come to pass. At this moment in time, Israel was about to cross the Jordan and take possession of their inheritance. The 40 years of wandering in the wilderness were about to come to a close, but what would happen once they entered into the land that was promised to their fathers? What would happen to them as a corporate body separated from the nations, especially without Moshe leading them? As you know from Scripture, each tribe was allotted a different portion of land, except for the tribe of Levi, which was not given an inheritance of the land. And so throughout this stretch of land that God had promised them, the tribes would be dispersed. They would each have their own home that they would go to. Now, they had been in one camp for 40 years in the wilderness. And you think about that time, even in that oneness, there had been times when there had been divisions in that camp where they had been led astray, either by the false reports of the spies or by people who would come up and rebel against Moshe's authority that God had placed on them. So the question would become, what would happen to these people? Would they be able to be united as one people of God?